So I got a pretty spicy theory here today. Going to be going over it with my boy Sai, as usual. And the topic of today is that Thriller Bark is very likely to be God Valley, surprisingly. Just initially, what do you think about that?
I feel like it makes a lot of sense, right? Because God Valley was in the West Blue. Thriller Bark is an island from the West Blue. And Thriller Bark is an island filled with so much mystery, right? Because we have the zombie generals, which we'll get to here in a little bit. We have its weird architecture. Moria, I don't know how Moria does it, but he just turns an island from the West Blue into a ship and sets sail. Like, it's something that not a lot of people talk about. Like, hey, Iceberg, Frankie, they're great shipwrights. But I feel like we got to start talking about Moria because that's kind of a feat, right?
That is a feat, but what's even more of a feat is how did he get it to the New World? Because in chapter 925, when we see Moria pulling up to Hachinosu, he has Thriller Bark with him.
Yeah. So it's like, wait, did he put a giant bubble around the ship and go underwater? Or even crazier, did he go above the red line with the pass from the world government? Like, there's no good way to explain it even. And then, I mean, he was in like the Florian Triangle in the beginning. And it's like, wait, how did he pass Reverse Mountain even? Like, how did Moria do all this?
That's what I'm saying. It's probably not going to be revealed. But what I do think will be revealed is that this is God Valley. Well, it's not like fully God Valley, since we, have recently seen what it looks like. It has those two big stone pillar things, that we also talked about before. Maybe the past, somebody split that, but it's kind of just like a portion of God Valley. And the big dead giveaway. Also, let me just say that I discovered this theory from Kokogaku OP on Twitter. This guy is awesome, always coming out with these crazy theories. The first thing that he at least thought of was Hogback's castle or mansion or whatever it is, because when we first see like the initial flashback of Kuma's backstory from Bonnie, I think touching his memories in Egghead, we saw just that quick couple panels of like the mansion or the castle type place, and then we saw the silhouettes of the celestial dragons. Also, shout out to Parvision, because he immediately knew that was God Valley just from seeing the celestial dragons, which was pretty impressive. But you could apparently line up the mansion or the castle place that is on God Valley to Hogback's, and it's like one for one.
Yeah, the architecture kind of fits, right? And the craziest part is that, the architecture fits. But you know what else fits? The people.
Exactly.
The people we see at God's Valley, right? The Rocks Pirates. Some of those members are the general zombies that Moria controls. So what are we saying? Imagine a world where Thriller Bark is not God's Valley. So you're telling me Moria and Dr. Hogback went out and found dead Rocks Pirate members and dragged them over here? I feel like that has to be the case for Captain John, because we know Captain John 100% did not die at God Valley. So Captain John, yes, we excavated his body, brought him back, but the other two dudes, come on. I don't know. It's really interesting.
Where did he die?
So we don't know where Captain John died exactly, but we do know that after Rocks fell, he went off and he became his own pirate captain. He's the one who created this treasure that Buggy was searching for pre-time skip. If you remember, in Impel Down, Luffy had that little armband.
Yeah.
That was Captain John's treasure map. So he made that treasure after God Valley, presumably.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we had a timeline on that stuff yet, because he's vaguely talked about.
Yeah. He just shows up at Thriller Bark for whatever reason, drinking the same bottle he was at God Valley. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And then when you go on further, it's the zombie that's supposed to be Silverax and all the other guys, they're wearing the exact same clothes. So it's what's going on here? Do they just not change their outfits that often?
Yeah, exactly. And even going into the flashback of God Valley, when we see the Rocks Pirates going against the Roger Pirates, there's guys that line up with the zombies even more. There's that forearm pistol guy and the guy that has the Blackbeard claws. They're there in both instances, which is crazy. And also, you were saying, not Wang Xi, because we initially thought that the long bearded guy was Wang Ji because he looks like he would have that name. But apparently that's not him because we found out that he was recently at Hachinosu. So this is just another guy, but he was there. And he's also on God Valley. I don't think he had like the elephant bottom to him. Maybe this came after the fact.
Yeah, that's a Hogback exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Having an elephant bottom. Yeah.
But maybe these
That's
guys
hilarious.
died on God Valley, and that's just why they're there, possibly. I mean, some people had to have died in that battle. It is a flashback.
At least one
all.
person must have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only time people
It's
die.
a flashback, so the gloves are off, man. The gloves are off in One Piece when a flashback rolls over, you know? You got at least like 5 dead people right there.
And
That is
also,
a death sentence.
Also the fact that Kuma shows up to Thriller Bark. You know, that's like his real big introduction to the series, aside from when we see him at the first Warlord type meeting that we saw. I think it was like after Alabasta. So that makes sense that he would show up there, you know, since we know that he was at God Valley, you know, back in the day. He was a slave there. So I like that that all connects. Another thing that I think is kind of like solidifying this, we're going to have to go into the Viver cards, which, you know, we both love and hate. But apparently in Moria's Viver card, it says that after he was defeated by Kaido, he went back to the West Blue. And that's apparently where he built Thriller Bark. And we know that, you know, God Valley was in the West Blue. So, do you put weight on that, or
it's strange because I love this theory. I'm actually on board with it as well, but I will admit the one flaw is the timeline, because Moria lost to Kaido around 20-ish years ago, right? Because it was in the land of Wano. So God Valley was 40 years ago. So it's like, wait, like, did God Valley just exist all that time and then Moria came over and swooped it up? I think what might be plausible could be that God Valley got cut in half again, right? We saw the rocket cut in half. I think maybe it got split in half again. One half went missing and then the other half just drifted apart. And then that's when Moria swooped over, went to his, quote, hometown, or, you know, the West Blue. And then that's when he took the remnants of God Valley and turned it into a ship. I feel like that could be it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a hard one.
Yeah, I
but
think
it just makes a lot of sense.
I mean, to me. But then again, I'm easily swayed with a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff. I mean, we've done so many theories over the last almost 2 years at this point, and I'm usually on board with all of them. But it has to be at least a portion of it because, you know, like we said, Thriller Bark is not nearly as large as what God Valley originally was. So whatever happened there with the battle between, I don't know, Roger, Rocks, and Garling or whatever, broke the island again. And that, yeah, this was just a piece of it that was just floating out there. Maybe purposely exiled, possibly. Not really sure. But yeah, it could be Emu intervention with Uranus. And then, I don't know, a piece was just randomly saved. I mean, like, who knows when we're going to find out about this
Who
stuff.
knows? You know what my favorite part about this theory is, though?
What's that?
It's the fact that Blackbeard probably has this ship right now.
True. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask next. I was going to say the significance of this has to come back because it is in the new world.
Oh, yeah. Like, Moria went over to fight Blackbeard. Moria lost. But like you said, he had Thriller Bark in tow. And when Garp shows up to fight Blackbeard, Thriller Bark is gone. So it's like, wait, what did Blackbeard do with it? I don't think Moria just, like, you know, set sail off on a ship after he escaped prison. I feel like Blackbeard probably has this ship with him right now. Because Blackbeard's Devil Fruit it allows him to suck things into his body. So there's a good chance that Blackbeard is just chilling with God Valley inside of him. Or Thriller Bark inside of him.
Also,
and I like the significance of that because Rocks and Blackbeard have a lot of connections too.
Man, I can't wait for that to all come full circle. Either he's his son or, I don't know, inherited his will or something like that. But you mentioning that them having it, which seems to be, you know, the Occam's razor decision at this point, it brings me back to Pizarro and his fruit, his island manipulation fruit. Do you think that would work on Thriller Bark?
100%. Yeah, because Thriller Bark's an island, you know? I'm just like, yo, if Blackbeard ever wants to travel anywhere, I think throwing Pizarro on Thriller Bark would be amazing. Because it's an island, but it's also a ship. So Pizarro could technically sail them wherever. And you know how, like, Hachinosu has a giant skull on its head? Or it has, like, a giant skull head? Yeah, he uses that to talk, right? I'm like, oh, that's kind of goofy. But when you think about it, Thriller Bark, it also has a mouth.
Yes.
So it's like, yo, Pizarro could just talk through those giant lips.
Oh man, yes.
Now it just works so perfectly.
Yes, it is. I'm already convinced this is going to happen because like I'm looking at it right now and there is a freaking mouth right there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oda's been cooking this one for a little bit. I can feel it.
I mean,
and it's so strange. Like, so sorry, but
no, please.
Oda could have given us any design for Oda, or not still. I keep on wanting to say Wang Ji. Yeah, like we're on the Wang Ji elephant torso or elephant leg guy now thing, but Oda could have given us any design for Ochoku, right? He could have given us any design for the Vega Claw dude. He could have given a different Captain John, but no, he brought all of them back into God Valley. And those are the same people that are at Thriller Bark. It's like, there's no way that's a coincidence. Oda was plotting. He's plotting something heavy here. I just feel it in my bones.
No, I agree. I mean, you're basically saying everything I'm going to say anyway, so it's fine. Because I was saying, like, if this is the truth, then he did have this planned for many, many, many years because it all goes back to Thriller Bark, which I think was like 2008 or 7 in the manga, right? 2008, around there.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, wow. He's been cooking this before a lot of these viewers have been even born. Not saying that there's kids on this channel, YouTube. This is not a kids channel, but, you know, it could be audience-wise. But I think that's everything for this theory. You know, we could just speculate for like 20 minutes what the significance of it truly is and why it's going to come back. But I think it will. Maybe it has some kind of significant mineral to it. I don't know, maybe. But that's it for this one, guys. Check out Sai's channel. He does spoilers just like me. He does the reviews. He does the theories. He does the collabs. He is the premier One Piece YouTuber at the moment, in my opinion. So give him a subscribe.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't subscribe to me. You know the deal.
No, and, just stay at Zhoniin's channel, guys, please.
Well,
he's where I learned all my tactics from.
Oh man, Bill,
you guy's a legend.
You gotta go to Grand Line Review then. He'll improve your game even more.
Dang.
No comment? All right. Thanks, guys.
No, I love Grand Line. He's great on Twitter. I love him.
Yeah, me too. Wink, wink. Bye.